All right, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the Akim out there preaching his word in truth and sincerity. This is Brother Shamar coming back with another lesson. And I just wanted to go into this video clip and the different posts on social media, basically just showing you how they're really starting to lock things down, all because of this COVID. So it's really starting to be like on some martial law type stuff, all right? Where there's going to be, like you see in this heading, it's going to be checkpoints being set up, Esau tracking where you going to, what you doing over here, asking you where you going heading to and where you coming from, all this other stuff. And then the other one I'm gonna read a little bit on is out in Australia. They actually have curfew where the curfew is being forced as far as having I believe the military. I'm gonna read it, but I believe from the military being on the streets and stuff enforcing a curfew. All right. So it's just showing you the times that we're in that things are really getting serious about this lockdown and stuff as far as their excuse for it all being because of the COVID. But before I play the video clip, I wanted to read this quick scripture in 2 Timothy 3 and 1. It says, "This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come." And it's exactly the days that we're in, man. We're in the last days, all right? So we're living in perilous times, man. Things are only going to get worse from this point on, all right? Things are only going to continue to just get more locked down. Esau gonna tighten up more lockdowns. He gonna make it harder for you to travel if for people who do travel. All right, it's gonna be more stuff that you gotta do. Checkpoints being set up everywhere. All right, even within your cities, more than likely. It's like it's starting out in certain areas, but it's gonna be, slowly spread to everywhere to where it's like gonna be the new norm to have checkpoints set everywhere. All right, and he shows you this in his movies, these different movies that he comes out with. All right, but these are the times that we're living in. So I'm gonna play this little clip, and then, like I said, read a little bit of the article, the post from social media that goes into it.
This is Dabu7. A heads up for anyone that is thinking of going to New York, through New York, into NYC, over any of their bridges, through any of their tunnels. They now have a mandatory lockdown of 14 days for anyone coming through, and you have to fill out a questionnaire form once you hit one of these checkpoints. These checkpoints, man, are the beginning of the end when it comes to being able to free flow in and out of the city, going to and from. And I can only imagine it's going to begin in the hot spots, Holland Tunnel, other popular bridges, Brooklyn Bridge, things like that, getting into the city. And then it will expand out. They're saying that when people come through, they have to give an address of where they're going unless their end destination is not in New York. They also have to fill out 8 questions on this questionnaire. And the sheriffs are going to be doing this. There's going to be sheriffs posted up. They say if they cannot reach you by phone, people are told to expect home visits. It remains unclear how law enforcement will ensure that people's information is correct. So this starts tomorrow morning, Thursday, August 6th. Every 6th to 8th car will be randomly selected. So it begins.
You see? All right. Like you said, it's gonna start in areas where it's mostly where it's the highest cases or whatever, and then they're gonna start doing it there, and then more than likely it's gonna spread to other places. But you can see how this is the start of it. Like he said, this so it begins. This is like the beginning of it. All right, the starting of dealing with situations like that. And then this is out in, like I said, in Australia, Melbourne. This is dude who be posting different articles about information and different things. And you see in the heading, it says Melbourne lockdown. Police can enter homes without a warrant to carry out spot checks. It says police in Melbourne, Australia now have the power to enter people's home without a warrant and perform spot checks to enforce compliance and new coronavirus lockdown rules after the state of Victoria announced a state of disaster in response to a spike in coronavirus cases. Premier of the state, Daniel Andrews, told residents we can no longer have people simply out and about for no good reason whatsoever. In addition to a 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. curfew, residents can only leave their homes outside those hours to shop for food and essential items, carry out care and caregiving, as well as daily exercise and work. The new powers also give police the right to enter your home to carry out spot checks even if you don't give them permission and they don't have a warrant. Controls on buying have also been introduced, restricting citizens to purchases of no more than two of certain essential items, including dairy, meat, vegetables, fish, and toilet paper. As we highlighted earlier, immediately after the government announced the new draconian measures, police in their hundreds positioned themselves around residential tower blocks to ensure no one could leave. People were told they must stay in the residence in which they slept the previous night for the next 6 weeks. Anyone who violates the new rules face a fine of up to $1,652, an amount which is set to be increased. As Toby Young writes, the spike in COVID 19 cases in the region could simply be due to the fact that more tests are being conducted. Victoria Victoria tested almost 43,000 on Sunday, July 26, twice as many as on normal days, and the peak on Wednesday could be due to the few days delay before the results come through. But pretty much you see how it's starting in different places, man. Like out in New York, they're having the checkpoints. Then out here, they're actually going to have the what did it say? The police, or was it? Yeah, the police actually have them enforcing these curfews and then doing spot checks coming in your home without your permission. So this, but like I said, these are draconian laws, man. All right, telling you how many items you can buy. You already experienced that out here for a short period of time when everybody was just bomb rushing the stores, taking their toilet paper and stuff. They told you you could only buy two items of different things, and it's going to go back to that slowly, slowly but surely, And you're starting, like I said, you're seeing it's going to happen, like Dabu said in his video, it's going to happen in specific areas where it's high cases at first, and then it's going to spread to other areas just in general. It's going to spread to everywhere where they have these checkpoints and these other laws set up to where you can only buy two items or you can only leave for essential reasons and things like that nature. All right. So you can see how where things are headed, man. All right. Like I started off with in second what was it, Second Timothy? Yeah. All right, we're living in perilous times, man. And things are only going to get worse from this point on. Okay? And this is 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. All right? Yeah, well, destruction is coming here, man, And you're seeing Esau actually prepare everything right in front of you, but these people, Babylonians, they're so asleep. The masses of the people, you don't even notice it. The only ones who notice what's going on are people who actually pay attention to what's going on. All right, they're the ones who's seeing this actually be set up right in front of your face, man. Esau's like strategically doing little things, little by little, ultimately leading to everything just being locked down and being a complete police state, where you could just do whatever you want. All right. But continuing on, it says, verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the courses of their actions shall stand in their power. And this is what's going to ultimately lead up to happening, man. Because people, they're not going to be cool with that being locked up. You got to check in everywhere whenever you leave your crib, where you're trying to go somewhere else. You got to check in, answer all these questions, tell them where you're going, give them your number, your information, the address you're headed to, all this different stuff. They can walk up in your crib. You could be doing anything. You could be up in your shower or something. They just walk up in your crib doing a random spot check, and ain't nothing you can say about it. So all these things are going to be coming to pass, man. It's going to be happening out here, man. Like I said, it's out there in Australia where they doing that at with the spot checks, but you know it's going to happen everywhere because they're already doing checkpoints out there in New York. All right. And in these other countries, you've seen the same thing. I believe in I forgot, but that video clip that brother sent out before, where they walked up in those Edomites' crib and told them that they was doing basically a wellness check on them, and took them to the hospital. So you already been seeing these things start to escalate, man. But continuing on to verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, and this is exactly what's going to ultimately be happening from this, man. You're going to want to leave your city, but they got these checkpoints set up to where they're going to be like, nah, you can't leave here. You got to stay up in here. All right, it's too much. It's too much going on. You know, it's going to be some wild excuse why you can't leave your city. Nonetheless, they're going to tell you can't go. You know, you got to stay within your city. We stay within this certain radius, you know. And this is where things are headed to, man. All right. In verse 18, it says, "For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation." And this is the things that it's going to lead up to happening, man. And you see that now. People can't even work. Everything closed down. You're not getting no more handouts like you were with the extra 600. The moratoriums there it came to the end, so now you're getting evicted. And then when these checkpoints and stuff start happening as well, on top of all these other things, all right, there's just more hell on these people, more tribulation on you. You being told what you can buy, how much you can buy. You gotta get permission to go here, go there, tell them everything, last thing you're doing. People gonna ultimately be rising up at that point and then breaking into their neighbors' houses, man. That sedition among men and everything else gonna be happening, man. And like I said, you could see these things slowly happening if you're paying attention, and this is what it's leading to, man. All right, as well as the mark of the beast being forced on you people to, in order to just be able to, you know, roam around freely. So you can see how Esau's spinning this thing already, man. And like our apostles on down and other Akim out there have been saying, man, they've been calling that Esau was going to use this as an excuse to further his agenda, man, and ultimately force the mark of the beast on everybody, as well as these vaccinations. All right. So this is just more, you know, information showing you that we in perilous times, and Esau's really getting ready to come with that great wrath, like it says in Revelations 12 and 12. He's getting ready to come with that great wrath and force his agenda on everybody, man. You know, force that police state, that martial law, take away the little rights that you believe that you do have. All right. Hey, so with that, you know, I'm gonna wrap up. I'm gonna give all praises again to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And Shalom to all the Akim out there preaching his word in truth and sincerity. And Shalom.